Hey everybody, Ryan back here again for the third video for today. And today, another Canadian team, Vancouver Canucks. Alright, if you're watching this video, thank you for watching. If you are a subscriber, thank you for subscribing and thank you for watching. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get notified when I drop a new video. Other than that, let's get started with the Vancouver Canucks. Alright, who did they add this year? Braden Holtby, 2 years, $4.3 million per season. I think that's going to be a solid pickup for him. I mean, it's only 2 years, so hopefully they can re-sign him after that because honestly, he is a lot younger than I thought he was, personally. I honestly thought he was in his late 30s. He is not. So, you got time with him, so go for it. Alright, they acquired Nathan. I think his name is actually Nathan, but they always say Nate Schmidt via trade. Jace Howaryuk, 1 year, 800,000. I want to say it like Howard Chuck, but it's not Howard Chuck. Howaryuk? Howaryuk? Howard? I don't know. However you say it. Travis Hamonic on a PTO. I think they'll end up signing him for a cheap contract. I'm kind of surprised after he didn't want to play in the bubble last year, and I guess his daughter is more prone to getting COVID, so I'm kind of surprised he's coming back at all. So, but I mean, at some point you gotta play your profession, and you can't stay home forever, even making the money they make. I mean, still gotta play at some point. So, good luck to him, and hopefully everybody stays safe out there. All right, subtractions. They lost Jakob Markstrom to Calgary. I always want to say Jacob, but I guess he is Swedish, so I guess they pronounce it Jakob. Because I know with the Ducks, you have Jakob Silfverberg. And it's like, that one makes a little bit more sense with the K, but I guess the one with the C is the same way. They also lost Christopher Tanev to Calgary, Troy Stetcher to Detroit, Louis Domingue went to Calgary. That's not a huge loss at all. He was just a depth goaltender. Tyler Toffoli, who I thought played really well for them, especially in the play-in round, went to Montreal. Josh Levo went to Calgary. That's 4 guys from Vancouver signed with Calgary. What the hell is going on in this world? I mean, for God's sake, Vancouver players are going to Calgary? I'm not even Canadian, and I know that just is wrong. I mean, you don't see Calgary guys going to Vancouver. Not normally. And you definitely don't see them going to Calgary generally, but you got 4 this year, and 2 of them were decently good players. They're pretty dang good players. Jakob Markstrom was a dang good goalie last year. Christopher Tanev was a solid defender. What's happening? If you're a Vancouver fan or a Calgary fan, please tell me what's happening, because usually you two are rivals. Alright, anyways, moving on. Oscar Fanberg went to the KHL. Richard Bachman, he's a free agent. I only wrote him down because I hadn't seen his name in a long time. I honestly didn't know he was still playing. Reed Boucher went to free agency. He's just never been able to find a place in the NHL. I mean, he was a top prospect at one point and just never worked out. Same with Nikolai Goldobin, who went to the KHL. I think that had more to do with attitude problems. But that's my personal opinion. Re-signed. There's Jake Virtanen. They re-signed to a 2-year, $2.55 million per season. Kind of surprised because there was a lot of talk about him being trade bait, trying to get more people, but with what they lost, I mean, it makes sense. Keep that guy. Adam Gaudette, 1 year, $950,000. Tyler Mott, 2 year, $1.225 million per season. And Zach McEwen, 2 years, $850,000 per season. Currently, their cap sits at $82.9 million. Their projected long-term injury reserve will be $1.4 million. So their projected cap space as of now is 0 because that long-term injury reserve is not subtracted yet. But once you subtract it, they should be just under the cap. So they won't have much room for anybody. But this is the one they wish they could get rid of, and nobody takes the contract. Louis Eriksson does not provide $6 million worth of play. I've been seeing people talking about a rumor that Brock Besser isn't going to be playing this year. If that is accurate, which I have not seen an official report saying that, as of this recording, it may come out after, I don't know. I can't talk about the future. I don't know it. I am not psychic. So, if he is injured and cannot play, that is a big loss. Very big loss. But it gives you some cap space to pick someone up depending on the length of the injury. So, you gotta look at the bright side, I guess. I mean, it sucks to lose someone like him, especially. And it's gonna be hard to pick up somebody to replace that, but it's not gonna be Louis Eriksson. No offense to Louis, he was good at one point. He's not worth $6 million anymore. All right. Anyways, moving on. Brandon Sutter will be coming off the books this year, possibly, or at least getting a cheaper contract. Tanner Pearson, a free agent after this year, UFA. Sorry, let me specify that. Sven Barchi, UFA. Adam Gaudette and Elias Pettersson are RFAs. I have a feeling you're going to lose two, if not all three of these guys, because Pettersson's going to be getting a lot of money. A lot. And they're going to want to get rid of that Louis Eriksson contract, because 1 year they may have to get rid of I hate to say, you may have to pull a Toronto with Patrick Marleau last year and trade your first round pick to get rid of it. You may have to do that. I hate to say it, but it may have to be done. If that were the case, I know a team that would love that. The Ducks would love to take your first round pick. We don't have the cap space, though. That's the downside. Oh, well. I'm just saying, I'd love to see my team getting our first round pick. Who knows? Might get someone good. Or might get someone bad. Hopefully not the bad one. Anyways, Alexander Edler's a UFA out there this year. Yeah, he's 34. You might be able to talk him down a little bit lower than that, because you might still get couple good years out of him at least. Jordy Ben, I think your guys are going to let him go after this year. UFA, he may go back to play with his brother in Dallas, maybe. But I think he'll be let go because no point in keeping him. I mean, you got enough young guys to take over the spot easily. Get him some experience this year with the last year with him, and then move on. All right. Other than that, you also got Quinn Hughes out there this year. Oh, God. Elias Pettersson and Quinn Hughes. Oh, you're really going to want to get rid of that Louis Eriksson contract. Really, really want to get rid of that. You also have Oli Uovelli, who is also RFA, who is probably going to be getting some games this year. So, oof. Then you got Thatcher Demko as well as RFA. Oh, man. Wow. This is going to be a team that's going to be hurting in the offseason. Sorry now, Vancouver fans. That's just from Hughes and Pettersson. Good luck. That's going to be a long offseason, I hate to tell you. I mean, Fairland is back on the IR concussion issue again, from what I understand. Ryan Spooner comes off the books this year. That's $1 million. Yay! Unfortunately, the recapture penalty for Luongo is one more season after this year. That's unfortunate, because that would help to get rid of too. But anyways, that's where you stand. Minor league contracts, you got Cole Lind, Lucas Jasek, Petrus Palmu, Jace Howerluck. I'm not sure how to say that one. That one's a tough one. Justin Bailey and Mark Michaelis. If that's said correctly, that's an interesting name. RFAs after this year. And Tyler Gravovac is a UFA. Alright. Defensive side, you got a lot of free agents too. Mitch Elliott, Gilliam Brisbois, Jalen Chatfield, and Josh Tevis and Brogan Rafferty are RFAs. And then you have Ashton Sotner is a UFA. Goalie-wise, you got Jake Keeley is a RFA. And currently you have Travis Hamonic on a PTO. He is not signing a long-term contract. It'll be a 1 year, probably $700,000 deal, maybe $800,000. If that, because you are out of cap space. But it helps with that long-term injury money. Which, why is it only 1.4 when Fairland is 3.5? They must have to retain half of that. That is odd. Usually it's the full amount. Anyways, it'll be interesting how they work it, especially after this season. Good luck to you, Vancouver fans. Was their draft in 2020. No early picks. Their first one was at 82, where they got Yanni Yermo, a defender. 113, Jackson Coons, plays all three forward positions. 144, Jacob Truscott, a defender. 175, Dmitry Zlodeyev, a center. And 191, Victor Pearson, a defender. So, no high draft pick. But the good news is you have all your own draft picks for the next 3 years except for the 2022 third round pick. You don't have that. But that's not the end of the world. So, you got your first round pick for the next 3 years. Maybe trade that one to Anaheim to take on Louis Eriksson's contract. Just saying. Possibility, right? No, just kidding. Nobody wants to trade their first round pick if they don't have to, especially for that. No offense, but you're not going to have... Oh, God, they have them on scratches, too. Oh, God, scratching someone with $6 million contract who only got 13 points in 49 games. Oh, it sucks so much to see Louis Eriksson do that bad. I feel bad for the guy. He was a good player, especially with Dallas. So it just sucks to see that happen, and there's another season after this year. Ugh. He might be better served to just say he's hurt and let them put him on the long-term injury for the next 2 years. He might be better served. They might be better served. I'm sorry, Louis, but that's the reality of the matter. I'm sorry, I keep talking about Louis Eriksson. I'll stop talking about him from here on out. Anyways, forward positions. So first line, JT Miller, Elias Pettersson, and Brock Besser if he isn't truly hurt. Like I said, they're just rumors that I've been reading about and seeing other videos on YouTube about. So, I don't know if it's accurate because I haven't seen it in actual reports, but we'll see. So, wow, JT Miller was a point per game last year. I completely missed that. Wow, good year for JT Miller. 72 points in 69 games. Better than Pettersson and Besser. I know Besser is often injured, but still, wow. 66 points for Elias Pettersson in 68. Wow. I am actually blown away that JT Miller outscored Elias Pettersson, and all you ever hear about is Elias Pettersson. Good job, JT Miller, being invisible. Good job on a good year, though. I'll give him that. Good line, though. Good solid line, especially if all three are healthy. They can score. No problem there. Tanner Pearson with Bo Horvat, and looks like everybody's going to be excited about that. Nils Hoglander is going to possibly make the team. If he does, that's long waited because I know he's only 20, but still. He was drafted in 2019, and everybody was thinking he was going to make it last year from all the things I saw. So hopefully he makes it, and hopefully he translates that to that North American game quick. I know he's a smaller guy, but this is the league of smaller guys nowadays. They can succeed at that size now. There was a day when if you weren't 6 feet, good luck, watch your head. That's how it used to be, but that's not necessarily how it is. You still gotta watch your head, but it's just not that way anymore. It's a speed game now, so good luck, Nils Hoglander. Third line, Tyler Mott, Brandon Sutter, Jake Virtanen. Virtanen's going to provide most of the offense for those three, easily. Brandon Sutter, solid defensive forward. Fourth line, Antoine Roussel is going to piss everyone off. We know that. Adam Gaudette had a good year last year, so hopefully he keeps advancing that way. And then Zach McEwen. Hopefully he keeps growing in his abilities. He is 24, so hopefully he gets better. Because 5 goals and 1 assist. Even on fourth line, hopefully you get a little bit more than that. But hopefully he grows and maybe gets a little bit of that third line play, maybe. Probably not much more than that, but still. Defensively, Alexander Edler, Nate Schmidt. That's going to be a solid defensive duo. I mean, they aren't going to wow you with the offensive, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised to see Quinn Hughes playing with Schmidt at some point, too. So I wouldn't be surprised by that, seeing Edler with Jalen Chatfield. Okay, he didn't play last year, that's why I've never heard the name. Oli Uvaleli and Tyler Myers. So that's the third pair. Goalies, Braden Holtby. I mean, subpar save percentage considering he was playing on Washington last season, and goals against average, that seems high for him. But we'll see. Thatcher Demko, young guy, could possibly be trade bait down the line. Who knows? Especially with those contracts up next year and him being one of them. We'll see how that one plays out in the offseason, though. Like I said, Fairland injured. Scratches, you got Jay Beagle, solid defensive fourth liner. Jordy Ben, solid defensive defenseman. Louis Erickson. I'm not going to get into that one again. Alright, Taxi Squad, this is who they got. Training camp. I just like this guy's name, Jet Wu. I know he's one of their top prospects too, but I love the guy's name, Jet Wu. That's a great name. I just want to one day hear, Jet Wu with a goal! I just want to hear that call. Who doesn't want to hear that call? Well, I'm sure Jet Wu wants to hear that call for dang sure. But Travis Hamonic, if he makes the team, I can see if Hamonic makes it, they may try and trade Jordy Ben. Because, well, he's 33, they could probably bury his contract, not have to pay for it, since he's not 35 or older. We'll see. I'm not sure exactly how that works out, but that's something to find out, right? So here's who's in the minor leagues. One guy, Mitch Elliott. I feel bad for him. Basically telling him at the beginning of training camp, you suck. Good luck. Here's the lone players. Here's the prospects. I mean, unfortunately, with Vancouver doing better, they are not getting those high-end prospects like they were before. Like you saw this year, their highest draft pick was Yanni Yermo, 82 overall, third round. So that's the price you pay for success. You don't get as many of the high-end prospects. But they still have Vasily Podkolzin that they drafted last year. I believe he has not signed a contract, it does not look like, because I think he's stuck in Russia. But that is his homeland, so it's not surprising. I think he has a KHL contract, and he's never going to be able to get them to let him go. So next year, maybe? Like I said, top prospect, Vasily Podkolzin. Right winger, 8 points in 30 KHL games. Nils Hoglander, he probably should be playing this year, is my guess. 16 points in 41 SHL games, which for a 19-20-year-old, that's a pretty good amount of points in 41 SHL games, because even I don't watch the SHL, but I've been watching prospects for a while now, and that many points in 41 SHL games, sometimes for the higher end prospects, can translate to a good offensive player. So, because I mean, he's a 19-20-year-old playing against grown men. He's probably been playing against grown men in the SHL for the last couple of years now, so he's probably physically ready to play in the NHL at this point. Even though he's a younger guy and smaller. Good luck. I think he can do it, though. Oli Uvaleli, former first-round pick, a higher one, too, so he's getting close to that last chance before they let him go, but 25 points in 45 AHL games. I think he'll get games in this year in the AHL. He's got to at some point. Jack Rathbone, defender, 31 points in 28 NCAA games. And Brogan Rafferty, defender, 45 points in 57 AHL games. So it looks like they got defenders coming up and a couple wingers. But defenders seems to be where they're big, because you see there's two more on this others mentioned as top prospects, including the guy with the awesome name, Jet Wu. Michael DiPietro, a goalie. Cole Lind, a right winger. And if DiPietro performs well enough, it may make it to where Thatcher Demko could possibly be someone they could trade away in order to save cap space, since he's RFA. He's probably going to want more money after this year, depending on how he performs, of course. But if I've been hearing a lot about how he's highly touted, so we'll see, because he may be someone they can trade for some younger prospects and save some cap space for those two big ones of Hughes and Pedersen next year to sign new contracts. But they also had Cole Lind, a right winger, Aiden McDonough, a center, and Yanni Yermo, a defender. All right, this is probably going to be a top-range team. Like I said in the last video for Toronto, pretty much all the Canadian teams can be called top-range teams, especially if you're talking about their division. And all of them pretty much could finish at the top of their division. Only one I am saying will not is Ottawa, because they'd have to have a lot go right with their young guys and their veterans, and a lot go wrong for all the other Canadian teams for them to be at the top of their division. I think Ottawa is going to be a very good team here very soon. I just don't think it's this year. So, no offense to you, Ottawa fans. It's just not that time yet. Wait another year or two. I think you'll be getting into that once these young guys get some experience. Just like you're seeing with Vancouver now. Those young guys are getting experience. Look how they did in the playoffs last year. I mean, they made it to Game 7 against Vegas. And I think at one point, if I remember correctly, they were down 3-1 in that series. They forced the Game 7, if I remember correctly. So, and against a team like Vegas, who I think Vegas honestly underestimated them when they went up in that series, and that's why it got tied up, but I think Vancouver has the potential to be a good team. And honestly, with some playoff experience like they got last year, they may be more hungry for it this year, and as long as they stay healthy, especially Brock Besser, they could be a very dang good team this year. So, that's why I'm also saying they could finish at the top of that division, but like I said in the last video, there's a lot of what-ifs for this division. A lot. And a lot more what-ifs for this one than any of the others. All these three are a bit easier to pick than this division. So, Vancouver could make the playoffs and be the top team, or they could make the playoffs by the skin of their teeth, or they could not make the playoffs. Any of those three are a possibility this year in that division. So, I mean, any year, you could say the same thing about any team. Weird things happen. Sometimes the team you think is the worst ends up being the best. Never know. But I think this will be a top team. I think this will be a good year for you, Vancouver. I mean, you lost a bit in the offseason. And yes, you had 4 guys go to Calgary, one of your most hated rivals. Which I'm sure Calgary fans are going to say, why the hell we sign Vancouver players? But that's for you all to decide between each other. I'm staying out of the middle of that. So, anyways, Vancouver, good luck this year. I think it's going to be a good year. But we'll see. So, Vancouver fans, good luck. And if you are watching this video, thank you for watching. If you're a subscriber, thank you for watching. And thank you for subscribing. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Make sure to like, comment, share. And I will see you all next video. Bye, everybody.